Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now April 6th of 2024, and given that all divisions over at the Walt Disney Company are going through full damage control mode right now by Bob Iger and the rest of the board of directors over there, this of course ranges everywhere from Pixar to Lucasfilm to Marvel Studios and Walt Disney Animation Studios. I mean, across the board, the Walt Disney Company is not performing well when it comes to their various productions, whether it be live action or animated films and or TV shows, etc., etc. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, about the whole Joy Behar situation and how this really kind of crosses the line with Deadpool 3 has a lot to do with the whole Ryan Reynolds scenario where he dropped out of the marketing campaign for the third Deadpool film that required him to go on ABC-run programs. He refused to go on there and did not want to go on The View to do one-on-one interviews with Joy Behar, and it's been creating an entire situation behind the scenes, not just for, of course, the Walt Disney Company, but also over at ABC at large, since they are owned by Disney. Let's not forget about that. Now, interestingly enough, we know that there's been a lot of things happening with Bob Iger, alright? The whole Nelson Peltz situation that happened just a couple of days ago just goes to show you that Nelson Peltz is not giving up. He'll be back next year, no doubt about it. Disney's not going to listen this year, so I believe that he will be back in, of course, the next proxy scenario. But what's interesting about this, moving forward, has a lot to do with Joy Behar now already beginning to take legal action against the Walt Disney Company after losing out on her $10 million payout / deal for Deadpool 3. Let's discuss. Now, on top of all of this, with those like Bob Iger and the rest of the board already going through endless drama from the public after the Nelson Peltz situation and everything related to both Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios and among other divisions, one major development now has to do with Joy Behar of The View and how she is now moving forward with taking legal action against the Walt Disney Company for several reasons. One significant development to this ongoing scenario is that Joy Behar recently has been going through a serious meltdown after her battle with Ryan Reynolds, after he decided to drop out of the marketing, of course, for Deadpool and Wolverine by not appearing on The View, and of course to do a numerous amount of one-on-one interviews with Joy Behar as well as Jimmy Kimmel. However, as of now, after multiple weeks of no resolution on the entire situation, Behar is not only moving ahead with taking legal action against Ryan Reynolds and his team as we previously discussed, but now also for the Walt Disney Company for allowing Reynolds to make such a bold move that reportedly lost her $10 million that Disney initially promised and something that she did indeed sign on for, having of course to do interviews with Ryan Reynolds on their show The View. Part of her recent legal warning against Disney now has much to do with the fact that she is reportedly angered that Reynolds so far has not met with any consequences as a result of dropping out of the interviews for The View and other ABC-run programs, and how Disney is not allowing her to receive that $10 million payout regardless. Behar didn't just see Reynolds' involvement on The View as an opportunity to boost her salary, but to also boost ratings. The situation progressed rapidly that moved Behar into making legal warnings now against Disney after Hugh Jackman also decided to not appear on The View by this June, leading into July for the 5 episodes dressed up as Wolverine, and likewise for Ryan as Deadpool. Now, already Bob Iger is said to be panicking about the scenario, since he knows Behar is a loyal face and voice of the Walt Disney Company. Her legal warnings moved ahead after Disney refused to pay her the $10 million, even after all bets were off of Ryan and Hugh coming on to The View of her show and also doing comedy bits on the ABC-run program. There was a contract reportedly signed between Behar and the Walt Disney Company, which makes things even more complex, that was previously approved by Bob Iger to use The View as a cheaper marketing run for the third Deadpool film. Already Behar is blaming both Reynolds and now even Bob Iger for encouraging the View's missed opportunity of what they believed would increase ratings and bring in new viewers for the entire months of June and July, right up to the release of Deadpool 3. Now, this in turn created a grudge between Joy and Ryan, where now even Ryan's agent and manager are getting involved in this situation that Joy is only making more difficult. Some board members at Disney are already pressuring Iger to just pay Behar the $10 million to quiet everything down behind the scenes and to prevent this from moving forward after her recent legal moves against Disney. Regardless, however, she still supports Disney because this is what she 100% believes in and wants to push her own agenda that falls in line with Disney's beliefs on The View. Now, let me just pause here quick, guys, for 1 second about this. Now, Joy Behar, I think, is beginning to sense that the walls are closing in on her time on television, alright? Now, whoever watches The View is not a normal person as far as I'm concerned. The View is utter garbage, it's trash, and it is 100% a voice by the Walt Disney Company. It is a voice by Bob Iger. It is a way for them to spread their nonsense. And Joy Behar, you know, really is going way past where things should even go in the first place. Now, look, I get it, you know, there was a signature, there was a whole contract signed and whatnot, but that contract in specifics were very complex. So, interestingly enough, you have a lot of people that are very much, you know, caught up within themselves, trapped in their own bubble, where they feel that they have the right to take a legal stance against this person or that person because of this or whatever have you. And this is no different than what happened with the She-Hulk actress Tatiana Maslany, with Brie Larson, with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and among others that really attempted to take legal action against Disney for making such major decisions of letting them go of various projects or among other decisions out there that Bob Iger made. Now, again, I mean, I think that this just goes to show that this is going to be a recipe for disaster when it comes to the behind-the-scenes action for Disney and all of its divisions. Now, moving ahead, however, Bob Iger is reportedly hesitant to do that, of course, as far as paying her, and doesn't want to cave into those said demands, unless it stretches out further toward the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. Already Iger is beginning to cut costs and funds on the marketing for Deadpool 3 that will result in far less TV spots than anticipated in trailers on television. So that's the other thing, is that multiple board members are telling Bob Iger, you know, pay Joy Behar, pay her the $10 million, whatever. It's not all that much if you think about it. To Disney, that's how they see things right now. And they just want him to pay up, alright? And that's creating a shake-up between the board of directors as it is. So, Bob Iger does not want to do that, like I said before, unless they really get very close to the release of this movie, and Joy Behar is still hassling them with those legal warnings and those legal moves and everything related to it in that sense. So, look, I mean, I think that it's crazy that The View is still on the air to begin with. I mean, it's nuts, the fact that it's still going after so many years, and especially during this day and age, where it is just nothing more than a way for Disney to shout out their opinions and their overall point of view on things, which are all nonsense, by the way, into the world. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.